Hello everybody, welcome back to Sharon from Vivid Days. I am so excited to share this soft oil pastel piece of work with you. I just love the effects of this and I really got drawn into this process. So this was very good for my body and soul, for myself. Let's dive into this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you're new to my channel, welcome. But thumbs up, subscribe, share, comments are always welcome if you think this video is going to add value to you and the art community. As mentioned, let's get on with this video. It is going to be a semi-realistic big wave just bubbling away, crashing out there in the oceans. I chose a piece of paper that had a grey tone to it. I'm just experimenting to see what value does the different colour paper add to your pieces. Now I have a reference book at the side of me. It was one that was a Margaret River book, and on the front I really like that wave. So I tried to not replicate it but use that form for me to understand how does that wave look, what does it contrast against the sky, what are some of the shapes that I can be focusing on to help me try and give that illusion of a wave crashing in the ocean. I start off with a light blue and I have mapped out roughly where I believe the skyline's going to be and where that skyline will meet the top of the ocean frothing. Again, although I drew it out, it evolved a little bit and there was a lot of toing and froing with this for me to find a piece of art that I was really proud of. And I feel this is when I really started to bond with the oil pastels and understand a little bit about more how they can work together for some of that fine detail. I've got it to the side of me. When I first glanced at it, I think, oh, it looks like somebody's taken, you know, a very close-up shot of it, so you can definitely see the movement of it. I can see the different tones coming and the frothing. Yes, I could improve on it if I gave it a go again, but it's all in the art of learning and processing. When you see me go to the side like this, the piece is on the wall here, and eventually I'll show you my wall where I've been sticking up all my oil pastels on the wall to just inspire me to keep going, to have a little look, see where I like, where I don't like, and to keep going. I have blended in my blues with my white and I'm going to keep doing the dance and blending it together until I feel I found the tone that I'm wanting for the sky. I really wanted it to look different to the ocean, and that's where you can see me going back and forth, back and forth. While I start to bring in some of the ocean now, you'll start to see I'm using some bluey green tones and just roughly mapping out where I feel it's going to be. I found for me, if I work in small sections and blend it and try and control what I'm working on, I seem to have more success. And I think that's because I'm just blocking out sections as opposed to trying to get the perfect looking wave. Again, I come in with my white as I'm going, and I'm going to start going in circular motions or the direction that the wave is going to help that bring to that mind's illusion that that is a wave crashing. I'm trying to slow down on this one because the other video I did on my clouds, because it was a 4-minute video only, I felt the need to rush, where this is now a 25-minute video, so it can take a little bit of time. And I'm going to look at what I'm doing and maybe talk to you about what I'm doing. But before I do that, how have you been? How is your week going? What have you been working on? And have you tried soft oil pastels yet? Okay, let me look at the picture and talk to you. So you can see I've added a lot of white, and you can see the movement of my hands was going in the directions of the wave rolling over. So direction matters. And where I am going now, it's where I can see that the wave is crashing and going in different directions. So I'm trying to be purposeful with the direction that I'm going in. Starting to come in with some illusion of where the foam would be going backwards on itself as that wave is rolling over. I wanted to just explore lightly what effects I could get. Now I'm using my little finger gently just to make it look a little bit wispy and not too solid, but help that illusion that that froth is just going behind itself. And I wasn't too concerned, but I thought, okay, Normally I control this with paintbrushes if I'm using paint, but I really wanted to stick true to just using oil pastels in my piece and not adding any other medium at this stage, just to help me learn how to control it. I'm adding a slightly darker shade under where that foam will be hitting it, casting a little shadow. And I'm also looking at the different tones on my reference photos to understand when the water is gathering together, there's some light areas and dark areas. Anyway, I kind of find it hard to talk out loud on this video all the way through. I think it's because I'm doing mass editing, so I feel like all I've done is talk. Maybe I need to start putting in there a little bit about my week and what I've been working on. Maybe. Anyway, you can see I am applying different pressures. That way I'm getting different tones, I'm using different colours, and just thinking about shading, thinking about the directions of the water, and I'm going backwards and forwards until I feel like I have got the essence of where I'm going. Now you'll see that I work over same areas multiple times, and I've mentioned in my other videos that that does add a lot of value. Now you can choose to do it just once over and that's okay. That's your painting, stick by what you're doing. But for me to cover the canvas correctly, for me to help build up the tones and blending and to help add that depth, layers do matter. And the beautiful thing about these pastels is you can keep blending, you can scrape away bits you don't like, you can keep adding it until you find that place where you're really happy with the work. And again, you can get to certain points where you feel that you can add no more value. So if it's not going to add anything, stop doing it and know when it's time to walk away. Look at me getting bold here using my darker colours. This is because this will be the bigger body of water where it is gathering upon itself to create that force. It is lovely watching back your work sometimes. There are so many places where I think I could just leave it there, or, you know, I could have been happy there. And that standing back and looking at what you're doing is so important. When you see me push very hard with the oil pastels, that's where you'll see a residue, and I'm learning to like having texture in there. I like the feeling that you can get that almost looks like you're working with oil paints, and I think it's aesthetically pretty when it's not all smooth and perfecto. And so I'm trying to find what is my style with this, and the looser I seem to go, the better it is. And again, not stressing. I believe it was a Sunday afternoon I was creating this. I've got music playing in the background. There was no time pressure, and I just really immersed myself, and I learned along the way. I probably would have gone lighter with the amount of foam on the right hand side as you're looking at it to start with. And what else? Not a lot really. I mean, I think the process worked really well. Oh, at the left hand side, when you see me fill that gap up because it's a lot of foam there, I would have probably added a mixture of the dark white stroke eggshell, and then white like I did with my clouds on the other ones, to try and give it more feeling of churning and shadows and it not just being a solid white. I did end up scraping some of that off so that I could go back in there and create a little bit more depth. I do like the fact that as the ocean comes nearer to the side I'm working on now, I've captured, to me, a sense that that is closer to you. So I think I managed to succeed with depth, but I would love your feedback on that. You tell me if you think I failed it or nailed it. But I really enjoyed the close-up work on this, and I feel like I'm going to revisit some pieces like this again and maybe try and do some looser strokes and let go of control. You can just see a little bit of that wave there that I've got for reference, and the colours. Again, it does not look like it. It's not a photo replica, but it was very helpful. And I think that's something you should bear in mind out there. Don't feel like you're cheating if you need a reference photo. Don't feel like you're not a true artist for doing that. Some people have really good imagination. Some people can have good imagination. And some people just need a reference to help train their brain on compositions, and never feel guilty for that. Some of the masters in the olden days, when you look back at their techniques, they would have reference photos or reference people. And so don't feel guilty for that. Even if you need to trace a little bit just to help you, do that. Now, I think as I evolve, I might start tracing, not tracing, but putting outlines. As you see when I get to my lady here, there's some specific measurements or how the face splits up for it to look like a face. And so if I'm doing that with the oil pastels, because they're quite thick, I might struggle with that. And so you'll see when I start this one and I share it with you soon, you'll see that she's already been drawn on the paper ready, just to try and help guide me. But this one was all free, apart from where I drew the line where I wanted the ocean and skyline to be. But I'm loving how you can see even the movement that I'm just creating there from the white foam. And you don't have to go to the amount of details that I've got at the end. When you see it coming, you could stick with it almost as it is, in my opinion anyway. If you're new to my channel, I hope that you're finding this useful. Please do go back and look at my back catalogue. Any thumbs up, any comments or any shares really do help my channel, and it also encourages me to keep sharing my art with you. My channel is all about just sharing my journey with you all, connecting with you all, and hopefully encouraging you to give art a go. Everybody has that skill within us, even if it's just about quieting that mind and finding some way of relaxing and focusing. So you can see I use my little finger a lot. I tend to use my little finger if I really want to control with little movements. Because I'm using white and just the tones, I'm not probably wiping my finger as much. I've just gone in with an eggshell colour, and look how that makes that foam pop a little bit. And I'm just going through and blending some through, not because the sand is churning up or anything. It's more just to help with that shadow of the foam as water is bubbling to the top. You see, I do it a lot and then I wipe it away, and then you're thinking, well, I could really cut this out of the video, but I really want to show you the process of how I break it down and how I do the dance with my art until I find that balance. So because I liked what I did with that little bit, I went in and added some eggshell back there, and then I've gone in and really pressed my oil pastels to leave some nice chunky texture of oil pastels on that foam and help with depth. I do come back in a little bit later and you will see me add in some more shadows under where that foam is, but I'm just trying to work on where will that wave and skyline end. I think before I go and add some more foam to the left, I think I go back and work through. I'm on a journey with you. Let's see where this is going to take us. I'm so sorry that my body got in the way there a little bit. I just yeah, I forgot all about you. I apologise. I was focusing on my craft. I even stuck myself a little message up there for you all there. Enjoy the flow, progress, not perfection. Wise words, Sharon. This was done on the 16th of May, so you can tell it's been a while since I've posted it. And a really, really exciting title, Ocean Wave. I'm starting to put some of these on the board just to inspire me as I'm going. Maybe to give you all subliminal messages, and also to stop people using my videos and putting them in their videos and claiming them to be theirs. It's amazing though when you lose your motivation or you forget to create, which you can do. Our lives get very busy and there's a lot happening, and it's taken me a while to get back into my space, and I tend to go in there and tidy it up, sort it, organize it, try to find my reason for creating. And I can say that I am back there now, enjoying creating, and thanks to oil pastels, I've I feel that I'm learning, so I'm on a learning curve, and that always keeps me interested. I'm enjoying the results. You get instant gratification. It's non-smelly. It's beautiful to work with, and I just want to keep challenging myself now to learn a little bit more about what I can do with this and how I can push it. But I'm in a good place in my art space. I'm creating um, photos around me, putting artwork up around me. If you're interested, let me know. I can give you a little tour around my room now that I've reorganized it and got myself up a little, all my vintage stuff here, all my different mediums and that everywhere. But let me know. Anyway, back on with the painting because I'm digressing. I'm starting to bring through some of the darker tones now where there's going to be suggestions of those ripples in the ocean, maybe those tiny waves coming up, and trying to add a little bit of contrast, add a little bit of the turquoise colour coming through, and just slowly working it. Now this is one where the wave is curving in on itself, and you can see a higher part to the left side and then it's twisting over, and so I was just trying to work through how I could make that look like that, like it was twisting in on itself as it's rolling without it looking like it's going down a waterfall. Spent a bit of time on that one, but I got there in the end, and all that was forgetting what I'm trying to paint and just focus on the colour, shapes and blocks on my reference photo, and that helped me. I got that happy medium. It really is getting to the enjoyable part of creating, where I'm showing you now, because I think when you start to see aspects of your painting come into life, it encourages you to keep going. And yeah, I I think what I really enjoy is the puzzle of how to make something work. The colours have to speak to me, but also the feeling. And with this one, it was a serenity piece. I felt very calm and collected. I was totally in the process, and I could block out the rest of the world while I just really focused on what I was doing here. So there's where I added the eggshell, and now I'm going and almost stippling my white soft pastel, and then going in with my little finger to not try and get solid colours, but do this circular motion as the way the foam is going as it's rolling down, to try to help the brain with the illusion that that is foam and it's moving forward. And I just work on that until I find a balance, trying not to overwork it, trying to make sure it looks like there's some spray coming out of it, and making it look like it's part of the picture and not just an odd piece there. Just using my other finger to soften out some of that edges that's going off into the sky, and now I'm going to come in and really start to bring it alive, where you will see hopefully a little bit more depth, some shadows, and the foreground and the background you can really start to see apart. And every time I'm adding a colour and I'm blending it, you don't lose everything you've done before. I still think it adds values from those little colours that are popping through. And what am I working on now? That's right, I'm trying to make it look like that's part of the ocean that's coming up and feeding up, as well as the shadow from the other one, and also the power of it pushing up into that wave that's crashing over. I'm rambling. If you're still awake with me, I appreciate it. There's no Sharon's Dodgy FM on at the minute. I might put some on at the end. Yeah. I should learn how to just make little pauses, shouldn't I? Just breathe. Have a little moment with you while you see me creating. Now, I struggled a little bit with that dark blue area I've just worked, but I really liked it. Then I could start to say, okay, yeah, now I can see that there's a big volume of water there. I'm loving these little waves that I'm building in now, and I start to come and add a little bit more confidence around the areas where it's going to be more intense, that water. And Yeah, if I feel like I've overcommitted with the white, I come in with the colours and just slowly blend that through. Anyway, I feel that I can add no more value to this by talking. I feel that you understand my thought processes. If not, I'm sending you positive vibes now and my thought processes as I do the dance with the oil pastels and the wave. And you'll see me keep going in and correcting it and just adding it until I get the balance right. But one last time, thumbs up, subscribe, share, comments are always welcome. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me, whether it's just a couple of minutes, whether it has been the whole duration of this. Let me know in the comments what you think to this piece. What's your favourite part of it? Do you see a wave crashing? Can you see the depth that I'm talking about? And have you decided to pick up some oil pastels since we last spoke and you've been going on this journey with me? Anyway, I will see you on the next video. Enjoy Sharon's Dodgy FM and enjoy the final pieces coming together of what I think is a beautiful serenity piece of the ocean. See you on the next one. Bye bye.